Welcome, race fans, back to the historic Coles County Speedway, located here in Mattoon, Illinois. I'm Casey Bench, joined by Kevin Benz up here in the booth tonight. And we'll be guiding you throughout tonight's racing action on yet another beautiful Saturday night here in Central Illinois. We kind of call this second summer. It's gotten hot here over this past week. We're in the 90s. Heading into racing action tonight, and action is kicking off tonight with the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing Micros in hot laps. Just past the flag stand, you'll find the 97D of Larry Drake from Terre Haute, Indiana. Another driver at the flag stand, the number 25T, I believe that's Tyler Taylor from Danville, Illinois. Or excuse me, that's Carter Whaley from Danville, Indiana. Green flag waving for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings on the first session of the day. 14 total entries, so we're going to do a group of 7 and a group of 7. Tanner Triplett crossed the timing line into turn number 1. White flag in the air here for the first hot lap session of the day. The quick time right now at 10.747, set down by missing data. Overall, pretty equal group here. Everybody within the 10-second range outside of two cars. One car set an 11.0 and 11.9, but everybody else was in the 10-second range. Quick time for that group was a 10.747. So that's one group complete for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing cars. Group 2 going to be coming up on the racetrack in just a moment. Group 2 coming onto the racetrack. They're being led out by the number 96 of Nate Casper. Off turn 2, the number 14B. That's Nolan Bartley. Into turn number 3, you'll find the number 95M and Noah Mell. Behind him, the 25T of Tyler Taylor. Passing underneath the Lakeland College scoreboard in a similar colored card, it's the number 81 of Braxton Flatt. Off turn 2, the number 88 of Billy Lieb. And the final car on the racetrack on the entry to turn number 3, the 3E of Bodie Everett. They're going to make up group number 2. Let's see if anybody out of this group can go faster than a 10.7. But it looks like that's going to seem to be the limit so far. At least it was for group 1. But hopefully as the night cools off, the pace will pick up. But I'm kind of seeing everybody kind of migrate up to the middle groove here early on. Doesn't seem like that bottom groove going to be the line here early on in the night. Already a 10.4 somebody set down. That was the 81 of Braxton Flatt. Flatt is flying as he comes through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Billy Lieb right there with him, a 10.5 lap 2. Checkered flag flies, a 10.3 for Braxton Flatt. No improvement for anyone else but Braxton Flatt. Quick time here for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing Micros, a 10.318. He's going to head up over the scales, make sure his car does meet minimum weight requirements before he heads back to the pit area, it looks like. That's a good jump for Braxton Flatt, knowing he has the pace early on in the night. Up next will be the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprints for their 7 entries. Junior sprints on the racetrack for their first time of the day. They're being led out by the number 1Z of Xander LaRose. Behind him, the 25B of Case Barnard. Off turn 2, the 25P is Presley Hall. Entering turn number 3, the number 7 of Grayson Graham in his red and silver junior sprint. In the middle of turns 3 and 4, the number 22F, of Evan France. He's passing the flag stand. And at the tail end of that 7-car pack, the D52 of Joseph Bonowitz. And the 57 of Nolan Leone. Green flag coming to the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprints as they complete their warm-up lap, and they head off into turn number 1 for the first time under green flag conditions today. Grayson Graham already looking quick. So does the 25B of Case Barnard, already trying to make quick work of Xander LaRose there as they came off turn number 4. 12-8 for Grayson Graham's number 7, top of the charts. Checkered flag waving here on the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprints hot laps. A 12-6 for the number 7 of Grayson Graham. That looks like that will be quick time for him. A 12-6-8-7.
All right, folks, and don't forget to save the date of September 28th. That's the Road to the Dome, presented by America's Farm and Home Store, Rural King. Go over to My Race Pass now and get your tickets. They are going fast.
Up next, the Outlaw Wings. Only 3 entries tonight for the Outlaw Wings. Looks like they will be just a moment before they hit the racetrack. Might just be waiting on Tanner Triplett doing double duty tonight. Tanner Triplett ran earlier in the Spartan Transportation A-Class wing car. Just needed a little extra time to get in his Outlaw wing car. Don't forget, race fans, if you need something to quench your thirst, make sure you take a visit to the Turn 4 Cafe located at the north end of the facility to get all the food and drinks you might need during tonight's racing events. You can enjoy all your favorite drink products along with your favorite Butch's Pizza. Visit the Turn 4 Cafe during the racing action every week for any food and drink you might need. And the Outlaw Wings have been given their command to hit the racetrack. They're being led out by the 635 of Jackie Sharp from Harrisburg, Illinois. And then a pair of drivers from Lincoln, Illinois, the number 5B of Chad Baldwin. And Tanner Triplets, his number 22 machine. That'll make up the Outlaw Wing field tonight here at Coles County Speedway. And green flag waving for the Outlaw Wings on their hot lap session. Green flag is out. Chad Baldwin will be the first driver to take a time tonight. He heads off into turn number 1. The 635 of Jackie Sharp looks unstable on the racetrack. Hopefully they can get that car adjusted well, but white flag waves. It'll be a 10-6 for Chad Baldwin. Let's see what Tanner Triplet does. He goes 10-9 on lap 1. Checkered flag off turn number 4 for the 5B of Chad Baldwin. Does improve to a twin 5 on lap number 2. Let's see what Tanner Triplet does. Slid a little bit too far there off turn 4. No improvement for him. So quick time will go to Chad Baldwin with a 10.507. Tanner Triplet was second with a 10.987. Up next is the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micros, another class with 14 entries tonight. And the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micros hitting the racetrack. They're being led out by the 1K of Mackenzie Dowler. Entry to turn number 1, you'll find the number 71 of Lydia May. In the middle of turns 1 and 2, it's the number 17 of Cole Jones. Off turn 2 in the middle of the backstretch, the number 12 of Austin Wright. Also in the middle of the backstretch, it'll be the number 14E of Emerson Kisner. They'll get the green flag as they come back around off turn number 4. 2 other cars on the racetrack, the 57G of Ezra Green. He's off into turn number 1. And at the flag stand, the number 81 of Braxton Flat once again. Yet another driver doing double duty here tonight at Coles County Speedway. Green flag up in the air. We'll see who throws down a quick time here early on tonight. Braxton Flat, 11.0, lap number 1. Checker flag should be coming to the 1K this time. No, they did throw it to Braxton Flats, number 81. No improvement on lap number 2. He's 2/10 clear of the field. See if anybody can find their mark here late in the going. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case as the field scrambles back to the finish line to complete their hot lap session. And Braxton Flat takes quick time here for group number 1, 11.0. Lydia May was second, 11.294. And Mackenzie Dowler third, 11.303. So Group 2 for the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro is going to be hitting the racetrack in just a moment. And here they come onto the racetrack. They're being led out by the number 14 of Niles Tudor. Behind Niles Tudor at the flag stand, the number 49 of Grayson Graham. Also on the racetrack, the 216 of R.J. Smith. He is off into turn number 1. And on his back bumper, the 79H of Kinzer Halloway. Also out there, the number 11W of Wyatt Mortz. They'll come to the green flag. Last car on the racetrack, the number 21 of Henry Snyder. We'll see, can anybody go faster than 11-0 set by Braxton Flat here on group number 2. White flag in the air here for session number 2. The 79H of Kinzer Halloway looked unstable there on the exit to turn number 2. We'll see if it's a little better here on lap number 2. Does look a little better, but Grayson Graham towards the top of the charts in this group. Not fastest overall. That's Niles Tudor, 11.303, but nobody will knock off Braxton Flats. 11-0 lap time. So Niles Tudor, quick time here on group number 2 with an 11.303. I believe that was good enough for third overall. Up next, it'll be the Mod Lights. 8 entries for them tonight. Mod Lights coming onto the racetrack for the first time tonight. Being led out by the 27P of Austin Park. At the flag stand, this is the yellow 7W of Dustin Wiltermude. Behind him is the other Wiltermude, J.R. Wiltermude, and his 93J. Also on the racetrack, the number 15 of Jimmy Arthur. In the middle of turns 1 and 2, the number 41 of Casey Davis, making his first start at Coles County Speedway. Off turn 2, it's the number 07. I believe that's Matthew Filkins. Also on the racetrack, the 819 of Chris Gregg. And into turn number 3, it's the number 13 of Aaron McRail. Makes the move up from the Hornets class into a Mod Light. So his first start in a Mod Light as well here at Coles County Speedway. Green flag up in the air for the Mod Lights. Lap number 1 coming across the lines. Matt Filkins, 11.7. Lap number 1. We'll see if anybody else can find the pace here early on. Austin Park goes to 11.8, but isn't able to keep up with that number 07 machine. Off turn 4, the 819 of Chris Gregg gets sideways. He gathers it back up, and everybody will come back across the stripe. Austin Park into the 11.7 range, but not up to the top of the charts. Quick time for the Mod Lights will go to Matthew Filkins, 11.724. Austin Park second with an 11.785. Dustin Wiltermude was third with a 12.122. Up next, it'll be the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micros. Another class with 14 entries tonight. And the Cleveland Grain Systems non-weight micros onto the racetrack. First one on, the 07C, it looks like. That's Audrey Cowden. Off of turn number 2, it looks to be, I believe it was a 511. I'm not seeing one on my race pass. We'll have to see who is in that car later on tonight. But green flag up in the air here for the Cleveland Grain Systems non-weight micros. White flag in the air. Excuse me, at 07C being driven by Carter Whaley. Also on the racetrack, the 39 of Bruce Newland Jr., who went to the top of the charts. Jimmy Woods in the 38J. Nolan Bartley's the 7F. Larry Drake in the 97D. And Seth Buell in the 2X. Checkered flag flies. Carter Whaley and Bruce Newland Jr. going head-to-head against each other for that top time, but it will go to Nolan Bartley, who steals it there on the final lap at 11.493 for Nolan Bartley. Goes quick time here on for group number 1. Bruce Newland Jr. was second with an 11.513. Carter Whaley third with an 11.538. Top 4 out of that group were separated by less than a tenth. So Group 2 going to be hitting the racetrack in just a moment. And here they come. The 83H of Colin Hutchinson leads him onto the racetrack. He's over in turn number 1. Behind him, the 4R, Cameron Romack. Entry to turn number 1, the number 64 of Caleb Sutherland. Also on the racetrack in the middle of turns 1 and 2, the 51B of Parker Bupp. Coming off turn 2, it's going to be the number 211 of Danny Hayes, along with the number 38 of Dustin Galbraith. And entering turn number 3, it'll be the number 94, the last car on the racetrack. That is Nate Casper doing double duty. And I believe his first time in a non-wing car. Everybody send down some quick times here early on. Colin Hutchinson, 11.3. Caleb Sutherland, 11.2, lap number 1. Checkered flag coming up in the air. We'll see if Hutchinson goes to the top. He does, 11.243. Can Sutherland answer as he comes through turn 4 for the final time? No, he cannot. And so quick time for Group 2 and overall looks like it'll go to Colin Hutchinson, an 11.243. Caleb Sutherland was second with an 11.262. Romack was third in this group, an 11.310. And with that, that will do it for hot laps, I believe. So we'll take just a moment before we head into opening ceremonies here at Coles County Speedway.
All right, folks, it's time for our opening ceremonies. At this time, we ask that you please rise and bow your head for tonight's invocation presented by Elder Ed Waggle of the Zoar Primitive Baptist Church.
Let us pray. Almighty, precious Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight thankful for the beautiful evening you've given us, that we can come out and enjoy a good show. We ask that you protect those spectators and the drivers, especially the drivers and their crew, also the track workers and the safety people. Lord, we ask today that you put a special blessing on the families of the victims of 9/11, that you comfort them and give them peace. Also the family of Charles Kirk, that you comfort them and comfort our nation in its terrible loss. Lord, we ask that you get a special blessing on our nation. Give our leaders wisdom and integrity to rule us in a way that would be pleasing unto you and return us to the one nation under God. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Ed. Now we ask that you please remain standing and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Thank you.
All right, folks, it's just about time to go racing here at Coles County Speedway. Starting off our evening will be our high caliber graphics junior sprints with 7 entries. We will have 2 heat races. Your starting lineup for heat race number 1 is from Bunker Hill, Illinois, number 7, Grayson Graham. From Des Lodge, Missouri, number 25P, starting second, Presley Hall. Starting third from Festus, Missouri, number 1Z, Xander LaRose. And starting fourth from Lovington, Illinois, number 22F, Evan France. This is your high caliber graphics junior sprint, heat race number 1.
Junior Sprints on the racetrack for the first 8-lap feature of the night here at Coles County Speedway. Caution lights out around the racetrack as Grayson Graham and Presley Hall going to lead the first High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race to the start cone. Green flags in the air for the first heat race of the night here at Coles County Speedway. Off into turn number 1, the RS12 Motorsport cars. Beating and banging as they head off into turn number 1. Advantage goes to the 1Z Xander LaRose, who jumps up into second off the initial start. Grayson Graham still leading the way, but Xander LaRose not going to let him get away very far. Evan France to the inside of Presley Hall, and France will take that third spot away. Off turn 4 as they complete the first 2 laps. Half a second separates the front 2. Half a second also separates third and fourth. Equal lap times for the front 2 that last time by. Both running 12.6s. Everybody still setting their fastest laps of the race here early on in the night. Coming to the halfway point right here, it's the number 7 of Grayson Graham. Still not pulling away from Xander LaRose, but LaRose isn't reeling him in at all. As they come back through turns 3 and 4 to complete lap number 5, 3 laps to go for the number 7 of Grayson Graham. LaRose clawed back about 300ths that last time by. We're coming to 2 to go this time on the first High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race. At the line, the gap remains half a second over Xander LaRose for Grayson Graham. Third still Evan France. Fourth still Presley Hall. They come off turn number 4 this time to the white flag. Grayson Graham now with a 0.6 of a second advantage. The gap might be a little bit too large for Xander LaRose to claw it back here in turns 3 and 4. For the final time off turn number 4, it's the number 7 of Grayson Graham winning the first High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race. Xander LaRose finishes second, Evan France third, Presley Hall fourth.
And up next is our High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race number 2. There'll be 3 entries in this race, and the starting lineup will be starting first from Muhammad, Illinois, number 57, Lolan Leone. Starting second from Dawson, Illinois, number 25B, Case Barnard. Starting third from Oakland, Illinois, number D52, Joseph Bonowitz. Again, this is your High Caliber Junior Sprint Heat Race number 2.
Caution lights turning off around the racetrack for the second High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race. Kevin mentioned before, another 8 laps for these junior sprints. It'll be Nolan Leone and Case Barnard leading them to the start cone over in turn number 4. They're on the gas. We're green here on the second High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race. Nolan Leone takes advantage and gets the field single file by the time they get to turn number 1, but Case Barnard gets a good entry to turn number 1 as Joseph Bonowitz's car falling out of pace off turn number 2. He's able to keep it going, and we will stay green. Something was amiss for the D52 there right off the jump, but now the car getting up to pace has lost a ton of time, a second and a half to the front 2 out in front of him. Nolan Leone still on the point for now. 0.3 the separation between him and Case Barnard for the second High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race lead. They come off turn number 4. That gap getting a little bit smaller. Case Barnard on the back bumper as they head off into turn number 1. Maybe a little bit of contact, but no harm, no foul. As Joseph Bonowitz's car continuing to fade further back. Something definitely amiss for the D52, way off the pace. Three laps to go for the second High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race. Off into turn number 1. Still Nolan Leone on the point. Case Barnard not going to be able to take that lead away just yet. He's going to try to back up the exit of this corner. Still about a car length the separation between the front two. It's about 2/10. Barnard still throwing down his fastest laps of the race as they'll come to the white flag this time. Barnard going to try to go high, try to cuts down low off turn number 4, slides too far, and the white flag will come out for Nolan Leone off into turn number 1. Case Barnard still all over the back bumper. We'll have one more shot into turn number 3. Nolan Leone stands on the brakes. They're off turn number 4, almost side by side, but the win will go to Nolan Leone here on the second High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint Heat Race. Case Barnard second, Joseph Bonowitz third.
And coming up next is our Cleveland Grain non-wing micro with 14 entries. We will have 2 heat races. Your starting lineup for heat race number 1 is, starting first from Hammond, Illinois, number 7F, Nolan Bartley. Starting second from Monrovia, Indiana, number 39, Bruce Newland Jr. Starting third from Charleston, Illinois, number 211, Danny Hayes. Starting fourth from Charleston, Illinois, number 38, Dustin Galbraith. Starting fifth from Terre Haute, Indiana, number 97D, Larry Drake. Starting sixth from New Lenox, Illinois, number 94, Nate Casper. And starting seventh from Danville, Indiana, number 07C, Carter Whaley. This is your Cleveland Grain non-wing micros heat race number 1 here at Coles County Speedway.
It'll be interesting to see if Carter Whaley can make his way up front. Was one of the faster cars in hot laps. Going to have to start all the way at the tail of this one. We'll see in his next 8 laps how many cars he can cut through. Another one of those cars that were fast, Bruce Newland Jr., starting on the outside front row. It'll be Nolan Bartley, Bruce Newland Jr., going underneath the Lakeland College scoreboard as they head for the start cone on the first Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro heat race. They're on it. Green flag out for the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micros. They head off to turn number 1. A little bit of a stack up there. Definitely stacked up the outside lane. And the number 94, Nate Casper, starting to cut his way through here early on. And the number 17C of Carter Whaley tried to cut underneath him. Almost made some contact there. Bruce Newland Jr. not having any pace here early on. As the 211 of Danny Hayes goes by him on the outside groove. Larry Drake trying something out there on the bottom of the racetrack off into turn number 1. But the first 2 laps will go to the number 7F of Nolan Bartley. Larry Drake to the inside of Bruce Newland Jr. as they head through turns 3 and 4. To complete lap number 3, it will be Larry Drake taking that spot away, and they head back off into turn number 1. Newland just does not have the pace to keep up with these front drivers here early on tonight. Still Nolan Bartley on the point. Carter Whaley struggling to cut through traffic as well. But he's caught up to the number 39 of Bruce Newland Jr. That's going to be for the 4th spot. Will be a good run for him here in this heat race. We'll see him likely up front in the feature later on. 3 laps to go for the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro heat race number 1. Nolan Bartley through turns 3 and 4 to the 2 to go sign. Danny Hayes still in second. Larry Drake still running third. Top 3 starting to get closer together as Bruce Newland Jr. will back up to Carter Whaley. White flag coming out this time for Nolan Bartley. He heads off into turn number 1. Everybody still single file past the flag stand. Off turn number 4 for the final time. It'll be the number 7F of Nolan Bartley taking the win on the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro heat race number 1. Danny Hayes, a good run for him there. Goes from 3rd to 2nd. Another good run there for Larry Drake, 5th to 3rd. Bruce Newland Jr. fell to 4th. Carter Whaley went from 7th to 5th. Dustin Galbraith 6th. Nate Casper 7th.
Up next is our Cleveland Grain non-wing micro heat race number 2. And here is your starting lineup. Starting first from Couts, Indiana, number 50, Cale Cannon. Starting second from Fairland, Indiana, number 51B, Parker Bupp. Starting third from Charleston, Illinois, number 2X, Seth Buell. Starting fourth from Butler, Pennsylvania, number 83H, Cullen Hutchinson. Starting fifth, number 38J, Jimmy Wood. Starting sixth from Madison, Illinois, number 64, Caleb Sutherland. And starting 7th from Ashmore, Illinois, number 4R, Cameron Romack. This is your Cleveland Grain Non-Wing Micro Heat Race number 2 here tonight at Coles County Speedway.
Again, yet another heat race where a lot of the fast cars out at the tail. Colin Hutchison was quick time in his group, starts 4th. We'll see how this one's going to go down as Cale Cannon and Parker Bupp will go through the start cone. Green flag is out, and they head off into turn number 1. Going to be a good jump there for the outside lane. Parker Bupp stacks it up behind him. He'll cut down to the inside as they come through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. He'll slide up a little bit of contact there with Cannon. No harm, no foul, but Cannon will lead lap number 1. Colin Hutchison isn't going to let them go away. Hutchison up over the berm, has to stand on the brakes, not to run into the side of Parker Bupp. He will get into him on the entry to turn number 3, but no harm, no foul as Caleb Sutherland following them through. And 4th for now, 5th right now. Or 6th is Seth Buell. He's trying to find a way forward. Parker Bupp on the outside of Colin Hutchison as Hutchison passes him down on the bottom of the racetrack. Still Cale Cannon out in front, leading this way. Jimmy Wood now back there in 5th, trying to find a way around the number 64, Caleb Sutherland, as Parker Bupp's car trying to hold on to that 3rd position for now. He's got Caleb Sutherland all over his back bumper. But take a look up front. Colin Hutchison starting to close in on the number 50 of Cale Cannon as they head back off into turn number 1 with 3 laps to go. Hutchison going to the high side in turns 3 and 4. He's going to try to dive it in here to turns 3 and 4. But no dice just yet. 2 laps to go for Cale Cannon. Hutchison on the high side. He's going to power all the way around him. He's going to be clear by the time he gets into turn number 3. Great run there for Colin Hutchison. White flag in the air, and Hutchison will lead his first lap of the race. Cale Cannon in 2nd. Hutchison sideways off turn number 2. Cannon might have a shot here on the high side. He's going to have to back up the exit of the corner, and it won't be enough. It'll be the number 83H of Colin Hutchison winning the 2nd Cleveland Gray Systems Non-Wing Micro Heat Race. 2nd went to Cale Cannon, 3rd Parker Bupp, 4th Caleb Sutherland, 5th Jimmy Wood, 6th Cameron Romack, 7th Seth Buell.
Coming up next is our Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micros with 14 entries. We'll have 2 heat races. Your starting lineup for heat race number 1 is starting first from Harrisburg, Illinois, number 14, Niles Tudor. Starting 2nd from Labadie, Missouri, number 11W, Wyatt Moritz. Starting 3rd from Streeter, Illinois, number 17, Cole Jones. Starting 4th from Lincoln, Illinois, number 21, Henry Schneider. Starting 5th from Lincoln, Illinois, number 14E, Emerson Kisner. Starting 6th from Terre Haute, Indiana, number 71M, Lydia May. And starting 7th from Bunker Hill, Illinois, number 49, Grayson Graham. This is your Dirty Right Ring Restricted Micros Heat Race number 1.
Caution lights out around the racetrack for the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micros. Yet another 8-lap heat race for them. All the heat racing tonight, 8 laps apiece. As Niles Tudor and Wyatt Moritz pass the start cone. Green flag in the air as Lydia May tried to cut down to the inside. Stacked up that row behind her as they go through turns 1 and 2 for the first time. A little bit of contact there, but Wyatt Moritz finds his way on the inside groove. Niles Tudor tried to back it up. Made a little bit of contact there with the 21 of Henry Schneider as the top 3 still under a blanket. Lydia May up to 4th. Niles Tudor going to come around, lead lap number 2 as Emerson Kisner goes up over the berm. No caution, and now it will be needed as her car comes to a stop just on the inside of the racetrack with 2 laps complete. Emerson Kisner, it'll get it refired. She'll tag back up on the tail end of the field. Wyatt Mort's going to lead us back to green. Excuse me, not Wyatt Mort's. Niles Tudor going to lead us back to green, then Wyatt Mort's. Henry Snyder's car also stalled off turn number 3. He is scheduled to restart in third. Fourth will be Lydia May. Fifth, Grayson Graham. Sixth, Cole Jones. And then seventh will be Emerson Kisner. That's the order if they can get Henry Snyder refired. If not, that'll promote Lydia May inside the top 3 after starting 6th. Track crew trying to help Henry Snyder. Snyder wants to pull to the left side of the racetrack. It looks like he might decide to take that hard left-hand turn, and he will. So heartbreak here for Henry Snyder, running third at the time of caution. And his race is going to be done here before they complete lap number 2. We'll come back to the 1-to-go signal this time. It'll be Niles Tudor on the point. Wyatt Mort's in second. Now third will be Lydia May. Fourth, Grayson Graham. Fifth, Cole Jones. Sixth, Emerson Kisner. Of course, only one car out of this race, Henry Snyder, not involved in the caution, but something mechanically broke while they were under yellow. And with that caution lights turn off around the racetrack as the 1-to-go signal is given. Niles Tudor going to bring them back to the restart cone, and the dirty right rear restricted micro heat race number 1 back underway. Off into turn 1, everybody keeps a single file, nobody stepping out of groove. Wyatt Mort's had a kind of a bad turn 2 there. Got a little bit tight on exit. That allows Lydia May to close in on his back bumper. It allows the 14 and Niles Tudor to get away. Grayson Graham not going to let Lydia May or Wyatt Mort's get away from him. Is he just going to try to make something work down here in turns 3 and 4? He's going to get to the inside of Lydia May. Lydia May will have to concede the position, but instead she's going to shut the door on Grayson Graham going into turn number 1. She'll hold on to third for now. Halfway this time for the number 14 and Niles Tudor. Lydia May really trying to close off the crossover move on the exit of the corner. Really slowing the car up right on exit. Not going to gain any time on Wyatt Mort's doing that. I think she's thinking we're going to go defensive for this heat race. Then they're going to go fight in the feature. If she can hold on to this third place, that'd be a good position for her. Grayson Graham started last at 7th in this heat race. He's up to 4th, wanting to take that third spot away from Lydia May. As it's still Niles Tudor out in front. Wyatt Mort still in second. Lydia May 3rd. Grayson Graham 4th. Cole Jones 5th. Emerson Kisner 6th as they come to the white flag this time. Lydia May still has the number 49 of Grayson Graham to her inside. They're side by side off into turn number 1 for the final time. That's for the 3rd position. Graham is there. They're beating and banging as they head into turn number 3. But the checkered flag will fly for Niles Tudor, who wins the second dirty right rear restricted micro heat race. Niles Tudor, the winner. Wyatt Mort, 2nd. Grayson Graham, 3rd. Cole Jones, 4th. Lydia May, 5th. Emerson Kisner, 6th. And Henry Snyder was out of the race at the end of lap number 1.
And up next is our dirty right rear restricted micros heat race number 2. Your starting lineup is starting first from Terre Haute, Indiana, number 12, Austin Wright. Starting second from Springfield, Illinois, number 1K, Mackenzie Dowler. Starting third from Riverton, Illinois, number 21C, Carson Eskew. Starting fourth from Paris, Illinois, number 79H, Kinzer Holloway. Starting fifth from Brownsburg, Indiana, number 57G, Ezra Green. Starting sixth from Monmouth, Illinois, number 81, Braxton Flatt. And starting seventh from Springfield, Illinois, number 216, R.J. Smith. This is your dirty right rear restricted micro heat race number 2.
Caution lights not going to turn off this time. It seems like a little bit disorganized. Some cars may have needed some assistance getting on the racetrack. And with that, the 1 to go signal will be waved off. As the field will attempt to get organized into their starting positions. A 1 to go signal has been given to the dirty right rear restricted micros. It seems Kinzer Holloway has elected to start from the tail. And it will be Austin Wright and Mackenzie Dowler side by side at the start cone. Green flags in the air. It's going to be a great jump there for the 1K. And Mackenzie Dowler, she takes the lead as they go through turn 1 for the first time. Kinzer Holloway car will stall coming off turn number 4. And Braxton Flatt up to second as they go into turn 3 for the first time. Trouble off turn number 4. 3-car incident. Austin Wright spins in front of the 21C of Carson Eskew and the 216 of RJ Smith with nowhere to go. Brings out the first caution of the second dirty right rear restricted micro heat race. So a lot of action there in about 1 lap. And the field will restack. Kinzer Holloway definitely knew something was amiss before the green flag dropped. And that is why Kinzer dropped to the tail and then into the infield as they took the green. But Mackenzie Dowler going to lead us back to green with Braxton Flatt right behind her. Ezra Green will restart in third, it looks like. Then fourth will be the 21C of Carson Eskew. And fifth will be Austin Wright, as it looks like RJ Smith will also join Kinzer Holloway in the infield. So the field will stack back up double file, as not everybody completed the first lap. So Mackenzie Dowler will not be the leader on this restart, I believe. Or will unofficially be the leader. So it looks like Carson Eskew will be promoted to the inside front row as they get the 1 to go signal. One to go signal given, it looks like, to the dirty right rear restricted micro. So Austin Wright going to retake the lead off this start. And a green flag going to be out. Austin Wright's car with damage going to drop all the way to the tail here off the initial jump. Ezra Green will pick him off as Mackenzie Dowler takes advantage up in front early on. And it seems like the caution light's having a little bit of an issue as Ezra Green slides through turn 4. He keeps it going in the right direction. We stay green. Take a look back up front. Braxton Flatt looking to the inside of Mackenzie Dowler for the heat race lead. They come off turn 4 side by side. Mackenzie Dowler still on top as they complete lap number 2. Flatt still on the inside. Can't take that spot away just yet. Carson Eskew third. Ezra Green fourth. And Austin Wright's car has fallen out of power, it looks like, going through turns 3 and 4. This might bring a caution. Staying on the racetrack for now. Braxton Flatt still back to the inside, and Mackenzie Dowler off 4, past the halfway point. 4 down, 4 to go as Austin Wright pulls it down into the infield. Going to be a good run here for Flatt as they head back into turns 3 and 4. Mackenzie Dowler going to try to power back around on the outside, and she just about will be able to. And Mackenzie Dowler still out in front at the end of that lap, but Flatt will throw the slider into 1 and take the lead away with 3 laps to go. Ezra Green all over the back bumper. Carson Eskew as they head into turn 3. That's for now the 3rd position. As a number 81, a Braxton Flatt still on the point, now pulling away from Mackenzie Dowler as they come to the white flag this time. Carson Eskew third, Ezra Green fourth. It seems the way they're going to finish on this one as Braxton Flat into turn 3 for the final time. Off 4, it'll be the number 81 of Braxton Flat taking the win here on the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro Heat Race number 2. Mackenzie Dowler comes across the line second, third, Carson Eskew fourth, Ezra Green. Austin Wright out of the race after 3 laps completed fifth, RJ Smith sixth, Kinzer Holloway seventh.
And coming up next is our Spartan Transportation A-Class wing with 14 entries. We'll have 2 heat races. Your starting lineup for heat race number 1 is, starting first from Hammond, Illinois, number 88, Billy Lieb. Starting second from Litchfield, Illinois, number 3E, Bodie Everett. Starting third from Rossville, Indiana, number 71T, Jackie Smith. Starting fourth from Loami, Illinois, number 7D, Zach Dowler. Starting fifth from Terre Haute, Indiana, number 97D, Larry Drake. Starting sixth from Monmouth, Illinois, number 81, Braxton Flat. And starting seventh from Wheatfield, Indiana, number 50, Megan Cooley. This is your Spartan Transportation A-Class wing heat race number 1 here at Coles County Speedway.
So track crew inspecting the damage on the number 21 of Austin Wright. It looks like at least a flat left front tire. And this also gives Braxton Flat a little extra time to hop out of his restrictor car and into his A-Class car for this next heat race. And of course, race fans, don't forget that coming up here on September 28th, it'll be the first ever Rural King Road to the Dome Invitational here at Coles County Speedway, which is featuring the very best super late model and modified drivers in the country, going up against some local racing heroes from 7 of the Midwest's greatest ovals. If you can't make it here to the racetrack, Flow Racing will have the broadcast on Sunday night, September 28th for the Rural King Road to the Dome Invitational. But make sure you get here. Tickets are going fast. And from the racing we saw last week, I mean, it's going to be cannot miss racing. It was phenomenal racing from the modified drivers. Great battle for the Schwartz for the win in the feature last week. And I can imagine we're going to see a lot more similar racing action on September 28th for the Rural King Road to the Dome Invitational. And the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings on the racetrack for the first heat race of the night. Another 8 laps for them. Everybody pretty much ready to go, it looks like. Braxton Flatt finding himself on the outside of row number 3 once again. See if he can make the same moves he did in the restrictor race now in this A-Class car. But up in front, it's Billy Lieb and Bodie Everett who are the front row as they head for the start cone at turns 3 and 4. Past the start cone, green flag waving for Billy Lieb, who's going to get a good jump here. The inside lane stacks up from the second row. That allows Flatt to go by on the outside. He's going to pick off Zach Dollar as well, almost into the outside wall. As they come back through turns 3 and 4 for the first time, Billy Lieb leads lap number 1. Bodie Everett in second. Third is Zach Dollar after a messy start here on this heat race. Flatt still trying to make that outside groove work. Jackie Smith will throw the block as they go through turn 2. Now Flatt on the high side, making that high side look easy in his number 81 machine. Going to drop down half a lane all over the back bumper of Zach Dollar. As Billy leaves sideways off turn 4, he's still going to lead the way as he completes lap number 3. Everybody trying to keep it going in the right direction for now. Everybody still mostly single file. Braxton Flatt all the way up on the Coles cushion, turns 3 and 4. Halfway for Billy Lieb. 4 laps complete, 4 to go. As the top 3 getting away from the rest of this pack behind them. Everybody up really high in turns 3 and 4. Seems like that's where the line's going to be for the Spartan Transportation A-Class wing cars. Bodie Everett closing in on Billy Lieb for the heat race lead as they come through turns 3 and 4 to 2 to go this time. Less than a car length separates the front 2. Off into turn number 1 with 2 laps to go. Everett doesn't get a great turns 3 and 4 right there, but a white flag will come for Billy Lieb. He separates that gap out by about 3 car lengths at the flag stand. Billy Lieb leading the way, trying to get into turns 3 and 4 for the final time as Braxton Flatt trying to throw it down there. But checkered flag will fly for Billy Lieb's number 88, who's going to win the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing Heat Race number 1. Bodie Everett will finish this heat race in second, Braxton Flatt third, Zach Dollar fourth, Megan Cooley fifth, Jackie Smith sixth, and Larry Drake seventh.
Coming up next is our Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing Heat Race number 2, and here is your starting lineup. Starting first, from Lincoln, Illinois, number 22, Tanner Triplett. Starting second, from Hammond, Illinois, number 14, Nolan Bartley. Starting third, from New Lenox, Illinois, number 96, Nate Casper. Starting fourth, from Danville, Illinois, number 25T, Tyler Taylor. Starting fifth, from Terre Haute, Indiana, in the 07C is Audra Cowden. Starting sixth, from Danville, Indiana, number 25, Carter Whaley. And starting seventh, from Fairland, Indiana, number 95M, Noah Mell. This is your Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing Heat Race number 2.
Wendigo signal given to Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing Heat Race number 2. 8 laps once again. The distance of this heat race. And the caution lights turn off around the facility. Tanner Triplett and Nolan Bartley the front row as they approach the start cone over in turn number 4. They're on the gas, green flag waving here on the second Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing Heat Race. Going to be a good jump there for the outside groove. Tyler Taylor up to second after starting in fourth. It's going to be a good run for him as he comes through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Tanner Triplett will lead lap number 1. But I would imagine Tyler Taylor not going to let him get away there as, Tanner Triplett up, maybe hit a rut down there in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Audrey Cowden's car out of pace as they go down the backstretch. Tyler Taylor a little bit too high. Through turns 3 and 4, going to lose some positions, but I believe the caution will come out, and it will as Audrey Cowden's car stalls. She tried to bring it down to the infield. Wasn't quite able to bring that 0-7 into the infield quick enough, so the caution will come out. 2 laps complete for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings, heat race number 2. Tanner Triplett will lead us back to green. Nolan Bartley second. Third will be Nate Casper. Fourth, Tyler Taylor. Fifth, Carter Whaley. And sixth, Noah Mel. One to go signal given to the second heat race for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings. And the caution lights turn off once again. We'll have 6 laps to go with 2 complete here on heat race number 2. Mentioned before, Tanner Triplett will lead us back to green as he comes back on the high side at the restart cone. Green flag back in the air. Noah Bartley gets a good jump there, but it's not going to be a good enough jump to take the lead away. He's going to fall back a little bit as Nate Casper trying to work his way forward. He's going to go to the top side. Everybody to the top side as it'll throw a big slider from Carter Whaley off into turn number 3. He's going to be up to 4th as Tanner Triplett's going to quickly pull away from this field behind them. He was 0.8 faster than the field that last lap. He's still half a second faster than everybody else on the racetrack. Tyler Taylor to the inside off turn number 2 of Carter Whaley. That's for the 3rd position. Taylor pulls up into 3rd. Mel trying to pass Whaley as well. That's for 4th. Whaley fights back to the inside into turn number 3. 2 laps to go for Tanner Triplett out in front. Still side by side off turn number 4. That's for the 4th position. Whaley trying to slide up in front of Noah Mel. As the white flag flies for Tanner Triplett, battle for 2nd, getting closer as well. Nolan Bartley, Tyler Taylor. We're side by side off turn 4, but off turn 4 this time, it's the 22 all by himself. Tanner Triplett wins the 2nd Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing Heat Race. Noah Mellon to the inside wall on the final lap did bring out the caution. Everybody suddenly staying out. Everybody wanted to take that hard left-hand turn for the scales, at least 2nd on back, but now everybody being ordered to stay on the racetrack. I believe the caution may have come out before Tanner Triplett finished. Noah Bartley going to go up over the scales. So a little bit of confusion here for the drivers whether or not this race is over, and it doesn't look like it is, and believe it will be a 1-lap shootout. So it'll be Tanner Triplett will lead us back to green for the final time. Nolan Bartley 2nd, Tyler Taylor 3rd, Carter Whaley will be 4th, Nate Casper 5th, and Noah Mel 6th. Of course, Audrey Cowden out of the race. So it will be a 1-lap shootout for the 2nd heat race for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings, it sounds like. They'll get the green and white flag together as they come back through turns 3 and 4. Tanner Triplett going to go back to the high side in turn number 3 as they approach the restart cone. He's on the gas early. We're back green with 1 lap to go on the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing Heat Race number 2. Everybody single files to go through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Nate Casper does pick off the number 95 and Noah Mel. Checkered flag flies for Tanner Triplett. No change there, and it doesn't look like there will be any change in the running result. And how they restarted is how they finish. Tanner Triplett wins heat race number 2 for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings. Nolan Bartley 2nd, Tyler Taylor 3rd, Carter Whaley 4th, Nate Casper 5th, Noah Mel 6th, and Audrey Cowden out of the race at the end of lap number 1.
And coming up next is our Mod Lights with 8 entries. We'll have 2 heat races. And here is your starting lineup for heat race number 1. Starting first, from Greenwood, Indiana, number 41, Casey Davis. Starting second, from Charleston, Illinois, number 819, Chris Gregg. Starting third, from Mitchell, Indiana, number 15, Jimmy Arthur. And starting fourth, from West Frankfort, Illinois, number 7, Matthew Filkins. This is your Mod Light heat race number 1 here at Coles County Speedway.
All right, Mod Lights on the racetrack for heat race number 1. 8 laps for the Mod Lights. Casey Davis and Chris Gregg in a lead. Mod Light heat race number 1 to the start cone over in turn number 4. They're on it. Green flag in the air. Davis off into turn number 1. Misses the jump there on the inside. Had to really stand on the brakes. Jimmy Arthur had nowhere to go. He falls all the way back to 4th as Chris Gregg takes advantage, and he'll lead lap number 1. 0-7. Matt Filkins going to try the outside out into turn number 2. Going to be a great crossover move down the backstretch with the momentum. Slides up in front of Chris Gregg. And he will lead lap number 2. Matthew Filkins to the point now. Jimmy Arthur starting to close in on Casey Davis a little bit. Both of those cars look pretty tight on the exit of the corner. As Chris Gregg still running second, not allowing Matthew Filkins to get away very much. That battle for third going to brew as they head off into turn number 1. Casey Davis up high. Jimmy Arthur down on the bottom. Arthur gets a good run there into turn number 3, and he will take the 3rd spot away. That'll put Casey Davis back to 4th as they pass the halfway point. Up in front, Matthew Filkins in number 7 will complete lap number 5. 3 laps to go for Mod Light heat race number 1. Field now getting spread out as Chris Gregg, 2.2 seconds behind leader Matt Filkins as he comes to 2 to go. Jimmy Arthur still running 3rd. Casey Davis 4th. Through turns 3 and 4. White flag this time for the 0-7. And Matthew Filkins. Chris Gregg 3 seconds back will also take the white flag in 2nd. But off turn number 4, the number 7 of Matthew Filkins is going to win the first Mod Light heat race in dominating fashion. Across the line in 2nd will be the 819 of Chris Gregg. Off turn 4 in 3rd is the 15 of Jimmy Arthur, and 4th, the 41 of Casey Davis.
And up next is our Mod Light heat race number 2, and your starting lineup will be starting first from Windsor, Illinois, number 93J, J.R. Wiltermood. Starting second from Windsor, Illinois, number 7W, Dustin Wildermood. Starting third from Steelville, Illinois, number 27P, Austin Park. And starting fourth from Sullivan, Illinois, number 13, Aaron McGrill. This is your Mod Light heat race number 2.
all Woltermude front row as they approach the start cone with 8 laps here for the second Mod Light Heat Race. JR on the bottom, Dustin up top. Green flag is out for Mod Light Heat Race number 2. Going to be a good jump there for JR Woltermude. Going to slide up in front of Dustin as they go through turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Austin Park trying to throw his name in the mix for the lead. Or for second for now. Off turn 4, going to be a spin by the number 13, Aaron McRill. He keeps it going. We stay green. Austin Park going to pick off second place from Dustin Woltermude. A little bit of contact there as they go through turns 3 and 4. Austin Park up over the berm, and the caution flag will come out as we had multiple incidents on the racetrack. Aaron McRill spun off turn 2. Dustin Woltermude spun trying to avoid a spinning Austin Park, who went for a jump over the berm. That brings out the first caution of the second Mod Light Heat Race. One lap complete, 7 to go for Mod Light Heat Race number 2. Looks like JR Woltermude will lead us back to green. Austin Park second. Dustin Woltermude will drop to the tail. And that'll put Aaron McRill up to third on this restart. 1 to go signal coming to the Mod Lights here for Heat Race number 2. Caution lights out around the racetrack. With 7 laps to go, 1 complete on the second Mod Light Heat Race. It'll be JR Woltermude on the bottom of the racetrack leading us back to green, and green flag is out. Going to be a good jump for the front 2. Dustin Woltermude going to try to pick off the 13 here quickly. As Austin Park all over the back bumper of the 93 JR Woltermude for the lead as they go through turns 3 and 4. JR will lead the first lap back under green. Dustin still all over the back bumper of McGrill as they head off into turn number 1. And maybe a little bit of contact there as they went into turn 2, but Aaron McRill will allow Dustin to go by for third for now. JR Woltermude still on the point for now. Austin Park not letting him get away at all. Austin Park definitely the faster of the 2 cars. Going to throw it down to the bottom in 3 and 4, but high side momentum may not pay off for JR Woltermude this time as Austin Park to the point and past the flag stand. And Austin Park leads his first lap as they go past the halfway point. JR Woltermude and now back in line in second. Dustin Woltermude third. Aaron McRill fourth. 3 laps to go for Austin Park now on the lead. Throwing down faster lap times. It is number 27 P. After starting in third. Going to be a good run for him here in this heat race. Aaron McRill goes for maybe a little bit more than a 360, but he keeps it going. We stay green. White flag in the air for Austin Park off turn 4. Austin Park's number 27P through turns 3 and 4 for the final time is going to win the second Mod Light Heat Race. Across the line in second, the 93J of JR Woltermude. Dustin Woltermude in third. And Aaron McRill off turn number 4 will finish fourth on the second Mod Light Heat Race. Up next, going to be the Outlaw Wings for their 8-lap heat race. Tanner Tripler from Lincoln, Illinois, and his number 22 starts on pole. To his outside, the number 5 of Chad Baldwin, also from Lincoln, Illinois. And third will be Jackie Sharp from Harrisburg, Illinois, and number 635. So going to be just a moment before the Outlaw Wings hit the racetrack for their 8-lap heat race. And after these guys will be the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature before we head to intermission. All right, the Outlaw Wings on the racetrack for their 8-lap heat race. Tanner Triplett going to lead us to green, as I mentioned just a moment ago. Chad Baldwin to his outside, and Jackie Sharp's 635 will tag on in third. Caution, the lights turn off around the racetrack for the Outlaw Wing heat race. 8 laps for them in this one. Past the start cone, green flag is out for the Outlaw Wing heat race. Going to be a good jump there for Tanner Triplett, who is going to keep the lead as they go into turn 1 for the first time. Chad Baldwin has to settle into second for now. Third, Jackie Sharp in the 635 off the pace from the front two. But Tanner Triplett, what a good run for him off the initial jump. Clear by 7/10 as they complete lap number 1. Off turn 4, that gap getting a little bit bigger into the 10-second range for Tanner Triplett on lap 2. Chad Baldwin trying everything he can, trying that outside groove out, see if he finds some pace. Jackie Sharp's car just does not have the pace to keep up in the 635 in third. Tanner Triplett still pulling away from Chad Baldwin, about half a second a lap now as they pass by the halfway point. 4 laps complete, 4 to go for the 22. Now 3 to go for the red 22 of Tanner Triplett. Chad Baldwin off 4, still in second. Throws down an equal lap time this time as Tanner Triplett gets into the dirty air of Jackie Sharp as they go into turn 3. White flag waving this time for Tanner Triplett. Tanner Triplett going to dominate this one as he comes through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and Tanner Triplett's going to win the Outlaw Wing heat race. Second will be the number 5B of Chad Baldwin. Third, the 635 of Jackie Sharp. And that will do it for heat races tonight here at Coles County Speedway. Before we head to intermission, we've got the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature to complete. 15 laps for the 7 entries. On the pole for the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature, it'll be Grayson Graham and the number 7 from Bunker Hill, Illinois. To his outside of the 57 and Nolan Leone from Mahomet, Illinois. Xander LaRose in the 1Z starts third from Festus, Missouri. Fourth will be Case Barnard in the 25B from Dawson, Illinois. Fifth will be Evan France from Lovington, Illinois in his 22F. Sixth, Joseph Bonowitz from Oakland, Illinois in his D52. And starting up at the tail end of the field. And seventh, it'll be Presley Hall from Des Lodge, Missouri in her 25P. That'll be the starting lineup for the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature. So it will be just a moment before the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprints hit the racetrack for the feature. High Caliber Graphics is the sponsor of this Junior Sprint Class at Coles County Speedway. High Caliber Graphics specializes in motorsports designs and services throughout the Midwest region. High Caliber Graphics provides the trophies seen in Victory Lane here at Coles County Speedway during special events, and drivers and teams who need some high-quality wraps for their cars should check out High Caliber Graphics by following them on their Facebook page. High Caliber Graphics is also one of the sponsors for the upcoming Rural King Road to the Dome on September 28th. And, of course, tomorrow night, going to be a work day here at the racetrack to help build that new bleacher over in turn at number 1. Anybody who comes by and helps out can get a free pit pass for any events not including the Rural King Road to the Dome. And it sounds like we are all good to go for the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature. And they will be hitting the racetrack right now. Caution lights out around the racetrack for the first feature of the night, the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprints. Grayson Graham, Nolan Leone, the front row as they approach the start cone over in turn number 4. Green flag is out on the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature. Good jump there for the inside lane. Xander LaRose up to second. Case Barnard trying to follow LaRose through by Nolan Leone. Leone backs out going into 3. Settles into 4th for now. See if he can cut underneath the 25B of Case Barnard. No dice there as he head back off into turn number 1. As lap 1 will go to the number 7 of Grayson Graham. Now single file goes to the field as they come off turn number 4 for the second time in this one. Graham pulling away about a 10th a lap over Xander LaRose in second. Third, Case Barnard. Still trying to close in on Xander LaRose, but the gap's staying pretty equal there as they complete lap number 3. Joseph Bonowitz a little bit off the pace once again in his D52. Off turn 2. Might have to watch that, see if that will bring a caution. Still Grayson Graham out in front as they'll come to complete lap number 5 on the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature. LaRose still in second. Running very similar lap times to Grayson Graham out in front. Third, Case Barnard. Fourth, Nolan Leone, as Joseph Bonowitz's car did sound like it was off as it went by us here in the tower, and he pulls it down to the infield. His night well in at the end of lap number 5. Off turn 4 once again with 8 laps to go. It's Grayson Graham still on the points. Xander LaRose second. Case Barnard third. Nolan Leone still 4th. Leone starting to close in on Barnard just a little bit. The gap about 2 car lengths as they head back through turns 3 and 4. Leone right on the wall here as they come back past the front stretch, past the halfway point. 7 laps to go. Coming to 6 to go as the number 7 of Grayson Graham. Presley Hall on the back bumper of Evan France for the 5th position. Presley Hall isn't able to take that away off 4. Nolan Leone coming to 5 to go this time. His number 7. Xander LaRose second. Case Barnard still 3rd. And now that battle for second is starting to heat up here in the closing stages of this race. Case Barnard, Nolan Leone closing in on Xander LaRose. That's Graham now with a 2.3 second advantage with 4 laps to go. Seeming like this is how this one's going to finish for the race to the win, but LaRose sideways off 2. He's still sideways, trying to keep the car going in the right direction to Xander LaRose. Case Barnard all over the back bumper as they go into turn 1 with 3 laps to go. Now 2 to go for the number 7 of Grayson Graham off 4 into turn number 1. LaRose still holding on to second for now, but Case Barnard might have a shot here on the white flag lap. He slides a little bit too far there on the exit of 2. Has to gather back up in turns 3 and 4, but the white flag will wave for the number 7 of Grayson Graham. Graham off turn 2 for the final time with a 3-second advantage over second place Xander LaRose. And the number 7 of Grayson Graham is going to win the High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature. Across the line in second will be the 1Z of Xander LaRose. Third is Case Barnard. Fourth, Nolan Leone. Fifth at the line, the number 22, FF Evan France. Sixth, Presley Hall. And seventh was Joseph Bonowitz, who seemed like he was having mechanical issues all night, and a terminal issue came up at the end of lap number 4, which ended his night. So Grayson Graham into Coles County Speedway victory lane for the 6th time this year. I believe the 3rd time in the junior sprint car. Kevin Bentz, down to you.
Thank you, Casey. We're waiting for Grayson to get out of his car now. His bright orange helmet coming off. All right, folks, he's out of his car. Let's give a big round of applause to Grayson Graham from Bunker Hill, Illinois, your High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. How you doing, Grayson?
Good.
How was the car tonight? Look fast.
It was fast. Thank you to Miners Towing. Huge thank you to Dawson Miner let me drive his car. And huge thank you to Landon Miner and the whole Miners Towing family.
Excellent. How old are you?
9.
You're 9. How long you been racing?
5 years.
5 years? Starting karts, or you always been in junior sprints?
Started with quarter midgets and now we're in this.
Excellent. Well, you're doing a great job. Keep it up, all right?
Thank you.
All right, folks. Once again, big round of applause to Grayson Graham, your High Caliber Graphics Junior Sprint feature winner here at Coles County Speedway.
So that'll do it for the front half of the night here at Coles County Speedway. Gonna head to intermission here, hopefully just a short one at Coles County Speedway before we come back for the remaining 5 features, with the first one up after intermission going to be the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings. So it'll be just a little bit before we head back to feature racing, as they're going to do a little bit of track work, it looks like, over in turns 3 and 4. We'll be back soon at Coles County Speedway. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Non-wing micros, your feature has been recalculated and posted. Again, non-wing micros, your lineup for the feature has been recalculated and is now posted. Well, race fans, it sounds like we're about ready to go back racing here at Coles County Speedway after intermission. First class up, the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings for a 20-lap feature for the 13 entries. On the pole, it's going to be Braxton Flatt from Monmouth, Illinois, and his number 81. To his outside, from Hammond, Illinois, it's Billy Lieb and his 88. Starting in third will be the number 22, Tanner Triplett from Lincoln, Illinois. To his outside, the 3E of Bodie Everett from Litchfield, Illinois. Starting fifth will be the 14 of Nolan Bartley from Hammond, Illinois. Sixth, Tyler Taylor from Danville, Illinois, and his number 25T. Back in seventh, it'll be Carter Whaley's number 25 from Danville, Indiana. Eighth will be Megan Cooley and the number 50 from Wheatfield, Indiana. Ninth will be Zach Dowler from Laramie, Illinois, and his number 7D. Rounding out the top 10, it's Noah Mell from Fairland, Indiana, and his number 95M. Nate Casper's number 96 from New Lenox, Illinois, starts 11th. Jackie Smith in the 71T from Rossville, Indiana, starts 12th. And Audrey Cowden in the 07C from Terre Haute, Indiana, will round out the field in the 13th and final starting position. That's the starting lineup for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing feature, which will be coming up on the racetrack in just a moment. And the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings on the racetrack for their 20-lap feature. Again, mentioned it earlier, Braxton Flatt on pole position for this one. To the outside, Billy Lieb, Tanner Triplett, Bodie Everett, row 2, row 3, Nolan Bartley, Tyler Taylor, row 4, Carter Whaley, Megan Cooley, row number 5, he made up of Zach Dowler, Noah Mell, row 6, Nate Casper, and Jackie Smith. And by herself on row number 7 is Audrey Cowden. 20 laps for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings for their feature. As Braxton Flatt, Billy Lieb past the start cone, and green flag is out. Going to be a good jump there for Braxton Flatt's number 81. Slides up in front of Billy Lieb. Big stack up in the mid-pack there. And they will get through turn 1 cleanly. Into turn 3 for the first time. Braxton Flatt will lead lap number 1. Lieb in second. Tanner Triplett in third. That's the top 3 across the line for the first time. Now the field mostly single file as they come through turn 2 for the second time in this one. Nolan Bartley working to the inside of Tyler Taylor for the 5th position. Bodie Everett on the inside of Tanner Triplett for third as well. Nolan Bartley on the inside into turn number 3 of Tyler Taylor coming off 4. Still Bartley on that inside lane. He will take that 4th spot away for now, but Tyler Taylor settles back in line. See what he can do as the number 25 of Carter Whaley starting to come forward as well. Field now starting to get spread out up in front. Braxton Flatt already out to a 1.2 second advantage as Taylor back to the inside of Bartley into turn 3. Doesn't work down there for the move to try to take that spot away. He's going to try to get in turn 1. He will lose maybe a position here to the other 25 car of Carter Whaley as Flatt into lap traffic for the first time here early on with only 6 laps complete. Still that battle for the top 5 position Tyler Taylor now back into 6th, now 7th as the 25 of Carter Whaley goes by him. Taylor fights back to the inside, takes that spot back. Off turn number 4, the 81 of Braxton Flatt getting away, but Billy Lee running equal pace to him right now. 1-2, very similar in lap times that last time by. Braxton Flatt sees these lap cars in front of him battling side by side. He's not liking this at all. Flatt going to try to work around this traffic as quickly as possible. Billy Lieb going to try to catch up to him as the lap traffic is going to throw a block here. Does not want to go a lap down as that 71C of Jackie Smith. And that's going to allow the 88 of Billy Lee to come ever closer. 9 laps to go, just past the halfway point. 11 laps complete. Braxton Flatt behind both these lap cars. No, he's running out of time as that 88 of Billy Lee is closing in. He's going to roll around the outside groove in turn number 4. He picks off Zach Dowler. He's going to try to pick off Smith here in turns 1 and 2. Can't do it as Tyler Taylor into the infield. Was running up front, something mechanically wrong for Tyler Taylor as Braxton Flatt will pick off the lap car. And Braxton Flatt now has a lap car between him and second place Billy Lieb. Off turn 4. Everybody still starting to get spread out here for position on the racetrack. Billy Lieb still behind lap traffic as they go into turns 3 and 4. 5 laps to go for the 81 of Billy Lieb, or excuse me, the 81 of Braxton Flatt. Lieb runs second as he has Jackie Smith to his inside as they work through lap traffic. Jackie Smith 1 lap down, fighting the 88 of Billy Lieb. With 4 laps to go, Braxton Flatt 1.5 second advantage. Tanner Triplett still running in 3rd. He's another second behind second place. As Nolan Bartley, Bodie Everett coming together in lap traffic, off into turn 1. The time's running out for the field. Still the 81 of Braxton Flatt out in front. 1.5 seconds with 2 laps to go is the gap to second place. Billy Lieb, white flag this time for the 81 off into turn number 1 for the final time. 1.7 the second advantage for Braxton Flatt as he rolls through turns 3 and 4. The caution will come out for a 2-car incident. It was those 2 cars battling it out for 4th. So just like the heat races, a late race caution going to re-rack the field. That's Nolan Bartley, Bodie Everett, the 2 cars involved over on turn 4. Just as Braxton Flatt was about to take the checkered flag, this race gets restacked. They were running 4th and 5th respectively. I mentioned they were getting closer in lap traffic, and unfortunately sometimes that battle gets a little bit too close, and they did come together. So it looks like it will be a green-white checkered finish for the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wings. Braxton Flatt will lead them back to green. Billy Lieb in second. 3rd, Tanner Triplett. 4th will be Carter Whaley. 6th, Noah Mell. 7th, Megan Cooley. 7th will be Nate Casper. As we get into the lap traffic cars. Bodie Everett to the infield, and his night is done. It's a tough break for him as Nolan Bartley going to make his way around the lap traffic, which will set up this restart order. So it will be Nolan Bartley restarting in 7th, I believe. Again, a green-white checkered finish here for Braxton Flatt and the rest of the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing field. Braxton Flatt has had tough breaks here in this A-Wing car. His best finish here was a 5th in the Spartan Transportation A-Class Wing car at Coles County Speedway on May 24th. Last time he was here with this car, his engine expired under caution from the lead. But now Braxton Flatt looking to write history in his number 81 machine with 2 laps to go on the Spartan Transportation A-Class wing feature. Is going to come back to the green. He's going to have himself a car length advantage by the time they get into turn number 1. Billy Lieb going to try to chase him down as best he can, but the pace may just not be there for this field. White flag waving this time as Noah Mell trying to cut his way through traffic as well. A little bit of contact there as headed off into 1. Billy Lieb tried to throw the slider, but it wasn't enough, and Braxton Flatt through turns 3 and 4 for the final time is going to get his first win in the Spartan Transportation A-Class wing car here at Coles County Speedway. And that does it for the Spartan Transportation A-Class wing feature. Braxton Flatt, first win in the A-wing car here at Coles County Speedway. Billy Lieb second. Tanner Triplett third. Carter Whaley fourth. Noah Mell fifth. Megan Cooley sixth. Nolan Bartley seventh. Nate Casper 8th, Jackie Smith 9th, Zach Dallard 10th, Bodie Everett 11th, Audrey Cowden 12th, Tyler Taylor 13th. Bodie Everett, Audrey Cowden, and Bodie Everett and Tyler Taylor were the non-finishers. So Braxton Flatt going to head up over the scales. It's his third win of the year here at Coles County Speedway. I mentioned before his first win in this A-wing car. He's going to look to do the same later on tonight in the restrictor class. But, Kevin, you're down there with Braxton Flatt with his first A-Class wing win here at Coles County Speedway.
All right, folks, let's give a big round of applause to Braxton Flatt, your Spartan Transportation A-Class feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. You must be happy he was out of that car in a hurry. Hello, Braxton. I guess I understand this is your first A-Class feature winner here at Coles County?
Yeah.
How was it? Your car looked good.
Yeah, for sure. Mike and my dad had it dialed in today, so thank you to them. Thank you to Reconics. Thank you to Odles, Reiner Farms, Cocoa Farms, Bot Farms, Chuckwagon Outpost, Nutrient, and everybody who helps me get here. Just thank you, God, for putting me in this position. And thank you for all the fans for coming out, and hopefully we'll be back at some point.
Excellent. I know you didn't want to see that last caution come out, kind of packed you up a little bit, but you did a good job on that restart.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, folks, let's give a big round of applause one more time for Braxton Flatt, your Spartan Transportation A-Class feature winner here at Coles County Speedway.
Up next, going to be the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro feature, another 20-lap feature for the 14 entries. Starting on the pole, the winner from this race, Braxton Flatt from Monmouth, Illinois, number 81, will start us on the pole for the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micros. Grayson Graham from Bunker Hill, Illinois, will start alongside him in his number 49. Niles Tudor from Harrisburg, Illinois. The number 14 starts third. Wyatt Mortz in the 11W from Labatt, Missouri, starts fourth with Mackenzie Dowler in the 1K. From Springfield, Illinois, starting fifth, Carson Eskew from Riverton, Illinois. His 21C starts in sixth. Ezra Green from Brownsburg, Indiana, and his number 57G starts seventh. Cole Jones in the number 17 from Streeter, Illinois, starts eighth. Lydia May in the 71M from Terre Haute, Indiana, starts ninth, with Emerson Kisner from Lincoln, Illinois, in the number 14E, rounding out the top 10. R.J. Smith from Springfield, Illinois, 216, starts 11th, with Austin Wright in the number 12 from Terre Haute, Indiana, starting in car number 12, in position number 12. Kinzer Halloway from Paris, Illinois, will start 13th in the 79H, with Henry Snyder rounding out the field in the 14th and final starting position in car 21 from Lincoln, Illinois. So it'll be just a moment before the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micros hit the racetrack, as they have to allow Braxton Flatt some time to make that car swap before the start of this feature. But he'll look to go back-to-back in the Restricted Micro feature. He's got to do battle with Grayson Graham, another driver who's won a lot this year in the restrictor car. Niles Tudors looked quick all night as well. So the top three going to likely have a pretty good battle throughout the entirety of the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro feature. Of course, race fans, don't forget about the upcoming Roll King Road to the Dome Invitational. Coming up here on September 28th at Coles County Speedway, featuring the very best super late model and modified drivers in the country, going up against some of those local track heroes from 7 of the Midwest's greatest dirt ovals. If you can't make it to the racetrack, Flow Racing will have the broadcast on Sunday night, September 28th, for the Roll King Road to the Dome Invitational. Tickets are on sale now on My Race Pass. They're going out pretty quick, so make sure if you want to be here, you get those tickets here quickly. And the Dirty Right Rear podcast is the sponsor of the Restricted Microclass here at Coles County Speedway. Coming up in just a moment for their feature. The Dirty Right Rear podcast is Southeast Missouri's dirt track podcast that focuses on dirt track racing in the Midwest, hosted by Jeremy Sutton and Jeremy Boyer. Many weekly Coles County Speedway drivers have already been on the show as they chase the track championship in 2025. Make sure you tune in to the Dirty Right Rear podcast weekly for some amazing Midwest micro sprint content. So it sounds like we are all good to go here for the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro feature. And they will be coming onto the racetrack. So 20 laps is the feature length. And the front row being made up of Braxton Flack, Grayson Graham. Row 2, Niles Tudor, Wyatt Mortz. Row 3, Mackenzie Dowler, Carson Eskew. Row 4, Ezra Green, Cole Jones. Row 5, Lydia May, Emerson Kisner. Row 6 is made up of R.J. Smith and Austin Wright. And row 7 is Kinzer Halloway and Henry Schneider. They're on the racetrack for 20 laps for the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micros. Will be 2 to green as they come across the timing line. When to go signal waved off as race control getting the lineup set, and it looks like they will be ready to go. They'll come around one extra time. So they will come to the 1 to go signal as they come off turn 4. And as they pass by the flag stand, the caution lights will turn off as they head off into turn number 1. And they are ready to go for 20 laps. Braxton Flatt and Grayson Graham, the front row for the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro feature. They approach the start cone over in turn number 4. Green flag's out, and they are racing off into turn number 1. Flat up the racetrack just a little bit to block the run from Grayson Graham. A little bit of contact there as Lydia May almost goes upside down in turn 2, and the caution will come out. So no laps complete. We'll restack the field and try it again. Lydia May went bouncing over there in turns 1 and 2, and that brings out the first caution of the race. Off of a messy start there to the dirty right rear restricted micro feature. Like I mentioned before, we'll stack it up, try it again. Lydia May gets her 71 refired, and she will try to continue. Wendigo signal given for the second time for the dirty right rear restricted micros. They're going to try it again. Braxton Flack, Grayson Graham, once again the same front rows we just had. As they approach the start cone over in turn number 4, they're on it. We are green on the dirty right rear restricted micro feature. Better jump this time for the 81 of Braxton Flack. The field heads through turn 1 for the first time. This time it's a little cleaner. We stay green as they go into turns 3 and 4 for the first time. And Braxton Flack will lead lap number 1. Grayson Graham running in second, going to try to not allow the 81 of Braxton Flat to get away from Niles Tudor on the outside of Wyatt Mortz. They're still side by side past the flag stand. Still side by side for that third position. Niles Tudor trying to make that high side work around the number 11 of Wyatt Mortz. Mackenzie Daller in line behind them in 5th. But Braxton Flat pulling away from this field, as Grayson Graham just doesn't seem like he's got the pace to keep up with him. He's not that far off, though, so if lap traffic becomes a factor late in the going, it will change the course of this race. Wyatt Mortz up to 3rd. Niles Tudor going to try to not let him run away with this one. Field mostly single file. In fact, they are completely single file as they will complete another lap here on the dirty right rear restricted micro feature. Braxton Flat off 4. Again, not extending his lead at all over Grayson Graham. 3rd place, Wyatt Mortz still in line. 14 of Niles Tudor and 4th, 5th is Mackenzie Dowler's 1K. Cole Jones all over the back bumper of the 21. Sia Carson Eskew, that's for the 6th position. Lydia May trying to poke her nose into that battle as well. But Flat starting to work up towards lap traffic. Grayson Graham isn't going away in this battle. He wants to stay close to the 81 of Braxton Flat. Kinzer Holloway allows Braxton Flat to go by down on the bottom of the racetrack. Lydia May to the inside of the 21 Sia Carson Eskew. Couldn't pick off that position. That would have been for 7th, it looks like, as Cole Jones gets away from them. No lapped cars between the front two. Braxton Flat starting to get backed up to the 49 of Grayson Graham late in the going. Now a lapped car between the front two. Still Braxton Flat on the point. Braxton Flat keeps picking off cars at the same time as Grayson Graham. That might be the factor in this one as Grayson Graham gets into the lap car of Emerson Kisner as he went through turns 3 and 4. That allows Wyatt Mortz to get to the back bumper for 2nd. Flat off 4, still leading the way. Now extending his lead over 2nd place. Grayson Graham, he's got now 1 lapped car between the two. Everybody still trying to navigate lap traffic as cleanly as possible. Still Braxton Flat on the point. Grayson Graham in 2nd. Wyatt Mortz 3rd. Niles Tudor 4th. Emerson Kisner throws it in on Wyatt Mortz. Not sure what that was about at all, and the caution will come out. That was interesting to watch. Emerson Kisner, I don't know if she just didn't have brakes as she went into turn 3, but she threw it in on Wyatt Mortz, who was on the lead lap. and spun them both out. We'll have 5 laps to go on this feature when they come back to green. Braxton Flat will be the leader. Grayson Graham behind him. See if Wyatt Mortz can continue, but I'm thinking damage might be too severe for him. Also have some debris over there on the entry to turn 3 as Wyatt Mortz into the infield, gets it refired, and I think he will continue. It does look like that will be the case. So the top 3 will be Braxton Flat, Grayson Graham, Niles Tudor, Mackenzie Dowler 4th, Cole Jones at 5th as they come back to the 1-to-go signal with 5 laps to go. Braxton Flat with 5 laps to go on the Spartan Transportation A-Class wing. A feature going to bring the field up to the high side. Or excuse me, the dirty right rear restricted micro feature to the high side. Caution lights were on, so they will get the 1-to-go signal this time. Little error there, but no harm, no foul. Braxton Flat going to lead us back to green. On the dirty right rear restricted micro feature, Grayson Graham 2nd, Niles Tudor 3rd. Braxton Flat to the high side in turn 4, diving at the restart cone. We are back green on the dirty right rear restricted micro feature. They head off into turn number 1. Stack up there for about 3rd. Cole Jones gets alongside Mackenzie Dowler for 4th. Dowler to the inside of Tudor as they go through turns 3 and 4. RJ Smith spins, and I don't believe they completed 1 lap before that caution came out. Didn't quite see what started that incident with RJ Smith. Was further back there in the field. But it will be once again Braxton Flat, Niles Tudor back in 3rd, Grayson Graham in 2nd. That'll be the top 3. Mackenzie Dowler 4th, Cole Jones 5th, Lydia May 6th, Carson Eskew 7th, Henry Schneider 8th, Ezra Green 9th, and Kinzer Halloway will be the top 10 on this restart. Caution lights out for Braxton Flat once again on the dirty right rear restricted micro feature. I believe we still have 5 laps to go. As they go past the restart cone, we are back green and they head off into turn number 1. Field will fan out too wide as they go through turn 1. Back under green. Niles Tudor to the inside of Grayson Graham, trying to take that 2nd spot away. He'll go around the outside this time. Cole Jones around the outside, and Mackenzie Dowler for 4th, as Braxton Flat will lead the first 2 laps back underway. 3 to go for the number 81 machine. Out in front of this field, Niles Tudor trying to get to the inside of Grayson Graham. Graham slides up a little bit too high, will allow the number 14 to have a shot for 2nd as they go back through turns 3 and 4 with 2 laps to go. Braxton Flat still on the point. So he's trying to pull away from second place, Grayson Graham. Two laps to go for the number 81 machine. Everybody in the top five still holding position as Cole Jones still up to fourth. White flag this time for Braxton Flat. And Flat through turns 2 for the final time into 3 and 4. Braxton Flat is going to go back-to-back and win the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro Feature. Grayson Graham across the line in second. Third goes to Niles Tudor. Fourth, Cole Jones. The top five will be Mackenzie Dowler in fifth. And that does it for the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro Feature. Braxton Flat back-to-back. Just won in the A-Class wing car and does it again in the restrictor car. So he picks up his third and fourth win of the season here at Coles County Speedway on one night. So he dominated the Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro Feature. Kevin Denny.
All right, everybody, here he is again from Monmouth, Illinois. Braxton Flat, your Dirty Right Rear Podcast Restricted Micro Feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. Hello, once again, Braxton. Good race. You had Grayson Graham pretty much right behind you the whole night. You were able to keep a couple car lengths on him. You just couldn't get any closer.
Yeah, he was fast all night. Great job to all the other drivers. Once again, thank you to all the fans for coming out. I'd just like to thank Reconics, Odals, all my family for coming out, Tharpt, God and Black Farms, Cocoa Farms, Ryder Farms, Nutrien, Chuck Wagon Outpost, and everybody that helps me get to where I am. Just thank you to all the fans for coming out once again. Thank you for all my family for coming out. And, hopefully I'll be back.
I'm sure you will, because I think you kind of like Coles County Speedway, don't you?
Yeah, Coles County is definitely one of my favorite tracks in the country, so.
All right, very good. Well, congratulations once again. All right, everybody, one more time. Big round of applause for Braxton Flat, your Dirty Right Rear Restricted Micro Feature winner here at Coles County Speedway.
Up next will be the Outlaw Wing Feature. 3 entries for the Outlaw Wings. Tanner Triplett from Lincoln, Illinois, starts us on the pole, the number 22. Chad Baldwin in the number 5, also from Lincoln, Illinois, starts alongside him. And Jackie Sharp from Harrisburg, Illinois, will start third in the 635 for the Outlaw Wing Feature. So the Outlaw Wings on the racetrack for their 20-lap feature. Once again, Tanner Triplett, Chad Baldwin, Jackie Sharp the field. As they go past the start cone, green flag is out, and Tanner Triplett going to be clear to the lead by the time they get to turn number 1. Chad Baldwin trying to settle in line, but loses a ton of ground on Tanner Triplett. It's Tanner Triplett going to try to pull away from the field here on this one very quickly, and that car already 0.6 faster than second place Chad Baldwin. Triplett's gap out to over a second already. Chad Baldwin in second. Jackie Sharp running back there in third. Chad Baldwin starting to pick up the pace now. Only 0.3 off the pace of race leader Tanner Triplett. As Triplett will continue to pull some time here on Chad Baldwin. 1.6 seconds to the gap between first and second. Jackie Sharp still running third in the 6:35. 5 laps complete for Tanner Triplett. He extends that lead out to 1.8 seconds. He's starting to slow down the pace for his number 22. Off turn 4, completing lap number 7 is the 22 of Tanner Triplett. Still pulling time on second place Chad Baldwin as Jackie Sharp spins off turn number 2 and gets stuck on the berm, bringing out the first caution of the Outlaw Wing feature. 7 laps complete for the Outlaw Wing feature, 13 more to go. Tanner Triplett will lead us back to green with 7 laps complete, 13 to go on the Outlaw Wing feature. Chad Baldwin second, Jackie Sharp third. Caution lights out around the racetrack for Tanner Triplett in the Outlaw Wing field as they approach the start cone over in turn number 4. Tanner's on it. We are back green on the Outlaw Wing feature. Off into turn number 1. Tanner Triplett going to try to put the foot back down on the pedal and try to pull away from Chad Baldwin as quickly as possible. And it looks like same deal is going to happen again. That start wasn't as good for Tanner Triplett that time, it looks like, but he will extend that lead out by quite a bit. Chad Baldwin sideways off turn 4, able to gather it up. We stay green. 11 laps to go for Tanner Triplett. And that gap going to be maybe a little bit too much to overcome now. You're going to need a mistake from Tanner Triplett, who leads by about a quarter of a lap. Over second place, Chad Baldwin now. 9 laps to go, 11 complete for Tanner Triplett. Tanner Triplett yet to win here at Coles County Speedway in 2025. Looking for win number 1 tonight. His number 22. So he continues pulling time on second place, Chad Baldwin. Tanner Triplett's previous best finish was second in this Outlaw Wing car. That came on August 30th. Five laps to go now for Tanner Triplett on the point. Going to put Jackie Sharp 2 laps down now. Has the gap over 5 seconds to second place Chad Baldwin. About half a lap. Tanner Triplett's lead is now. He'll come to 3 to go this time in his red number 22. Lap average about 0.3 faster than Chad Baldwin on this race. Tanner Triplett ended turns 3 and 4 Coming to 2 to go this time in his red 22 is now over half a lap advantage over Chad Baldwin. Baldwin spins over in turn number 4. He's trying to keep it going. He will. And the white flag will come out for Tanner Triplett as he laps the field on this Outlaw Wing feature. I believe this is going to be the first time we've ever seen this one as Tanner Triplett will roll through turns 3 and 4, a lap ahead of the field. And Tanner Triplett gets his first win of the season here at Coles County Speedway in the Outlaw Wing feature. Tanner Triplett wins the Outlaw Wing feature. Chad Baldwin second, 1 lap down. Jackie Sharp third, 2 laps down. So Tanner Triplett been looking for that first win in the Outlaw Wing car here at Coles County Speedway this year. He's finally going to get it as he heads up over the scales before heading off into victory lane here at Coles County Speedway. So Tanner Triplett going to make the hard left-hand turn into Coles County Speedway victory lane, picking up his first win in the Outlaw Wing car in 2025. Kevin, you're going to throw it down to you.
Thank you, Casey. All right, folks, let's give a big round of applause to Tanner Triplett from Lincoln, Illinois, your Outlaw Wing feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. One happy young person here. He's got his helmet off and he's coming around now. Hello, Tanner. How are you?
Good.
Good. I know there weren't a lot of cars out there tonight, but you were really fast all night.
Yeah, my dad and Pops had it really dialed in.
Excellent. How long you been racing?
This is my 6th year.
And you're how old?
12.
12. You're doing well, young man.
Thank you.
You got any sponsors? Anybody you want to thank?
I would like to thank Brett Triplett Heating and Cooling, Quarter Midget Bumpers, Canham Graphics, Premier Powder Coating, Goodman Excavating and Trucking, Bruce Rayburn Trucking, KJR Race Products, Larkin Longclair. I think that's it.
That's it? Is that it? All right. All right. Well, once again, good job, young man. Congratulations. All right, everybody. One more time. Big round of applause for Tanner Triplett, your Outlaw Wing feature winner here at Coles County Speedway.
Up next will be the Mod Lights for another 20-lap feature for their 8 entries. Matthew Filkins from West Frankfort, Illinois, number 7 will start us on pole. Austin Park to his outside in the 27P from Steelville, Illinois. Chris Gregg in the 819 from Charleston, Illinois starts third. J.R. Wiltsbury to his outside from Windsor, Illinois in the 93J. Rounding out the top 5 is Dustin Wiltermude, also from Windsor, Illinois in the 7W. And starting 6th will be Jimmy Arthur from Mitchell, Indiana, and his number 15. 7th will be Aaron McCrill from Sullivan, Illinois, and his number 13. And 8th will be Casey Davis from Greenwood, Indiana, and his number 41. That's the lineup for the Mod Light feature. Mod Lights hitting the racetrack for their 20-lap feature. One to go signal coming to the mod lights as they pass by the flag stand. And the caution lights turn off around the racetrack. 20 laps for the mod lights. As they roll their way into turns 3 and 4, it's Matthew Filkins and Austin Park, the front row. At the start cone, they're on it. We are green on the mod light feature. Great jump there for Filkins as he heads to the lead off into turn number 1. The inside lane stacks up behind him, and a tire has come off of somebody's car. I believe that is Matt Filkins' car that came off of. And the caution will come out. Chris Grigg hit the tire with nowhere to go, but the damage doesn't look too severe for the 819. And Matt Filkins will be headed up on the hook before they get off of turn number 2. And just a tough break there for Matthew Filkins. Not sure which tire came off. But that's a tough way to end the night, especially from the lead here at Coles County Speedway. So track crew is still working on getting Matthew Filkins' car on the hook and off the racetrack. So it looks like it might be the left rear tire of Matthew Filkins that came off, which gives the lead on this restart, I believe, will be a complete restart. I believe it would go to Chris Grigg, since he was the inside row 2 starter. Yep, left rear tire off of Matthew Filkins' car as that car heads back to the pit area, and his night is over. So the field will stack back up double file as they come off turn 4. So it does look like race control will put, Chris Grigg to the inside of row 1. So the new front row will be made up of Chris Grigg and Austin Park, it looks like. It looks like how they're going to do it. They're going to give Austin Park control. So the field's getting this sorted out back into their starting position. So Austin Park on the inside, Chris Grigg on the outside of row 1 now. There's an all-Wilter moved row 2, JR and Dustin inside and outside respectively. As the caution lights go out, still with all 20 laps to go on the mod light feature. Austin Park and Chris Grigg, the front row, as they go to the start cone. Green flag is out. and they are racing. It's going to be a bad jump there for Chris Grigg. Some contact made hard into the outside wall. Goes the 819 to Chris Grigg, and the caution will come back out. Jimmy Arthur, the other car involved in that one, had some significant suspension damage on the right front tire. It seems that his car carried on into the outside wall on the entry to turn 1. So it seems like the drivers are going to do a self-enforced red flag as they headed towards turn 1. And it looks like they're going to try to get this sorted out. It'll be Austin Park, the leader, once again. Looks like Chris Grigg got his 819 refired, and it looks like he will attempt to continue. But I imagine the damage for Jimmy Arthur is done. And that does look like they are asking for the hook. Chris Grigg into the infield along with Aaron McCrill. Those two drivers will join the cars out of this race early. So the cars remaining include Austin Park, J.R. Wiltermude, Dustin Wiltermude, and Casey Davis. So Jimmy Arthur's car off the racetrack, and the Mod Light drivers will refire and roll off into turn 1. Just 4 of them remaining to fight it out these next 20 laps. Dustin Wiltermude may need some assistance getting fired up. Was involved in that incident, I believe. He was stuck in the middle of it. Does get it refired. And he's going to head back in to tag on to the inside of row 3, or inside row 2, excuse me. So new front row, Austin Park and J.R. Wiltermude, and then Dustin Wiltermude and Casey Davis, their remaining drivers. Caution lights out around the racetrack. Still all 20 laps left to go on the Mod Light feature. Austin Park and J.R. Wiltermude with control as they pass by the start cone. Green flag is back out. Going to be a great jump there for J.R. Wiltermude on the outside lane. Austin Park on the berm. Goes on 2 tires. Is going to try to hold on to this lead as they go back into turns 3 and 4. Austin Park on the bottom is going to slide up a little bit in front of J.R. Wiltermude, and he is going to be clear by the time they complete lap number 1. Dustin Wiltermude on the inside of J.R. as they roll through turn 2. on lap 2, and it looks like they will try to sort it out single file. Dustin still on the inside of JR as they pass by the timing line. But he will sit in second for now as JR Wiltermude. They're not allowing Austin Park to get away very quickly. It's now Dustin to the inside of JR to turn number 1. That's the battle for second. Casey Davis behind them in fourth. Austin Park still on the point, leading the way on this Mod Light feature as they complete lap number 4. JR Wiltermude still holding on to that second spot for now. Dustin's not letting him get away. The gap to the leader, 1.3 seconds at the end of lap number 5. See Aaron McCrill and Chris Grigg trying to go to work on the 819, seeing what the damage is down there in the infield. But single file now are the top 3 as they complete lap number 7 on the Mod Light feature. Austin Park on point, JR Wiltermude second, Dustin Wiltermude third, Casey Davis fourth. Still Austin Park on the point as he catches up to the 41 of Casey Davis as they head off into turn 1, trying to put him 1 lap down. And off of turn 2, we will be able to do that. As he'll come to the halfway point this time. 10 laps complete, 10 to go for the 27P of Austin Park on the Mod Light feature. Now JR pulling away from Dustin rather quickly in that Wiltermude battle for second. Casey Davis still running back there in fourth now, 1 lap down. Austin Park still putting down lap times on JR Wiltermude and Dustin Wiltermude, about 4/10 faster. That lead now out to 3.7 seconds over JR Wiltermude. Austin Park still on the point as he comes off turn 4. He will complete his 14th lap, 6 to go for the 27P. Wiltermude's equal in lap time, but about a second apart in that battle for second. So everybody got past Casey Davis without incident, putting him 1 lap down on everybody. Oh, JR Wiltermude with a problem on the entry to turn number 3. Dustin goes by and the caution will come out. Not sure what happened there for JR. Just went off to turn 3. Car did not look like it was under power anymore, and it looked like he didn't really want to turn either. So a tough break for him. That will narrow the field back up for a 5 lap to go restart. Austin Park will lead us back to green. Dustin Wiltermude behind him, and Casey Davis 1 lap down. Will restart in fourth, but will pass JR Wiltermude once they complete a lap. JR Wiltermude going to take the quick exit off the racetrack over there in turn 4. And with that, the rest of the mod lights will come to the 1 to go signal. Five laps to go for the Mod Light feature. Austin Park first, Dustin Wiltermude second. Casey Davis 1 lap down in third as the caution lights go out on the racetrack once again. Austin Park going to bring the remaining Mud Light feature field back to the restart cone with 5 laps to go. Green flag is back out. He gets a good jump there on Dustin as they head off into turn number 1. Dustin back down to the bottom of the racetrack. That gap extending out for Austin Park. They complete the first lap back under green. 4 laps to go. Austin Park still leading the way, now extending that lead over Dustin Weltermood. As Casey Davis will pass the off-track J.R. Weltermood for third. 2 laps to go for Austin Park, extending his race lead over Dustin Weltermood to 1.4 seconds. White flag in the air for the 27P of Austin Park on the Mod Light feature, off into turn 1 for the final time. 1.6 second advantage for Austin as he rolls through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and Austin Park is going to dominate the Mod Light feature. Austin Park, the winner of the Mod Light feature in dominating fashion. Dustin Weltermood second, Casey Davis third, 1 lap down. J.R. Weltermood out of the race at the end of lap 15 with a mechanical issue. He finishes 4th. Matthew Filkins, Chris Gregg, Jimmy Arthur, and Aaron McCrill all out of the race before they could complete 1 lap. So Austin Park into Coles County Speedway victory lane for the second time this year in a Mod Light. Kevin, you're going to be down there with Austin Park.
All right, folks, as that was Carr, let's have a big round of applause for Austin Park from Stillville, Illinois, your Mod Light feature winner here on Coles County Speedway. Austin and Carr looked really fast tonight. Every restart, you're just able to drive away from everybody.
Yeah, as soon as we could get some laps going under our belts, tire came in there, and I just had a good car. It felt really good. We knocked a whole front end off of it 2 weekends ago and just struggled to get it back, and I think it's finally back.
It looks like it. You're running some pretty good laps. You're running the 12.4 range for most of the night, so that's really good here.
Yeah, the track was a little bit slicker than it normally is to me.
Yeah, well, it's a little dry out, too, so there you go. You got anybody you need to thank her?
My dad, my mom, my sister back at home watching. I came by myself tonight. Weekend Performance, Eliminator Race Cars, Travel the World with Talitha, that's my mom. I think that's about it.
That's about it. All right, well, great job. All right, folks, one more time, big round of applause to Austin Park, your Mod Light feature winner here at Coles County Speedway.
Final feature of the night coming up here with the Cleveland Grain Systems and non-weighing micros, another 20-lap feature. Colin Hutchinson from Butler, Pennsylvania's number 83H will start us on the pole. Noah Bartley in the 7F from Hammond, Illinois is alongside him. Danny Hayes from Charleston, Illinois in the 211 starts third. The number 50 of Cale Cannon from Codis, Indiana will start fourth. Fifth will be Caleb Sutherland from Matson, Illinois. His number 64 machine. Parker bumped his outside from Fairland, Indiana in the 51B. 07 Sia Carter Whaley from Danville, Indiana starts 7th. Bruce Newland from Monrovia, Indiana, and his number 39 starts 8th. Jimmy Wood in the 38J starts 9th. Cameron Romack in the number 4R from Ashmore, Illinois will round out the top 10. Dustin Galbraith from Charleston, Illinois in the number 38 starts 11th. Nate Casper in the number 94 from New Lenox, Illinois starts 12th. And Seth Buell in the 2X from Charleston, Illinois will round out the field in the 13th and final starting position for the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro feature. This is the final feature of the night as Cleveland Grain Systems non-weight micros make their way out onto the racetrack. Sounds like one car having a transponder issue of some sort. So they will likely call one car to the infield as they try to work out which car is having that transponder issue. Looks like it was the number 50 Cale Cannon. Does sound like they're going to score the number 50 Cale Cannon by hand during this feature. So they will get everybody back into their starting positions before we head green. Two to green this time. They're coming to the one to go next time by. One to go signal given to the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micros for their 20-lap feature and the final feature of the night here at Coles County Speedway. Colin Hutchinson, Nolan Bartley, the front row. Danny Hayes, Cale Cannon behind them, making up row number 2. As they approach the start cone, Colin Hutchinson, Nolan Bartley with control. They're on the gas. Colin Hutchinson got loose, but we're green. Colin Hutchinson to the point as he goes to the high side in turns 1 and 2. Throws a nice block there on Nolan Bartley. Now he's going to try to run away from the field as he will lead lap number 1. Danny Hayes in third, slides up, tries to get in front of Cale Cannon there as Nolan Bartley gets loose in second, stacks up everybody behind him. Danny Hayes on the top side now of Parker Bupp and Cale Cannon on the bottom, running fourth at the moment for that number 50 machine, but Danny Hayes going to try to fight back. Try to take that spot away. The caution will come out as we have a 2-car incident at the top of turns 1 and 2. That is Dustin Galbraith and Nate Casper involved in turn 1. So 1 lap officially complete on the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro feature. Track crew going to help them get refired. Colin Hutchinson going to lead us back to green. Nolan Bartley behind him, then Danny Hayes, Parker Bump, Caleb Sutherland, Carter Whaley, Jimmy Wood, Cameron Romack, Bruce Newland, Seth Buell, Nate Casper, and then Dustin Galbraith. Excuse me. Nate Casper and Dustin Galbraith will be 12th and 13th. Cale Cannon will be 5th, it looks like. Or 4th, excuse me. Nate Casper going to bring his non-wing micro up to the tail end of the pack. And with that, they should be able to get all the safety vehicles off the racetrack and go 1 to green next time by. So race control and the rest of this field figuring out their 3 starting positions. Race control trying to get Parker Bump into his correct restarting position. Didn't think he'd be restarting 3rd. In reality, he will be restarting in 5th. Sounds like we're good to go. 1 to go signal coming to the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro feature field. With 19 laps to go, only 1 complete. Colin Hutchison, Nolan Bartley, Danny Hayes, the top 3 as they approach the restart cone over at turn number 4. They're back on it. We're back green as they head off into turn number 1. The field will be mostly single file. Some drivers trying out that bottom groove. Parker Bump was one of them. Couldn't pick off the number 50 of Cale Cannon as they came back through turns 3 and 4. Cannon went to the bottom, Bump went to the top, and they will reverse it again as they go through turns 1 and 2. But out in front, Colin Hutchinson will lead the first 2 laps back under green as Caleb Sutherland gets to the inside of Parker Bump. That is for the top 5. That is for the 5th position for the 64, Caleb Sutherland. Cale Cannon still running 4th, trying to get lower than Danny Hayes in turns 3 and 4. Parker Bump going way to the top side through turns 3 and 4. Now Bump can have a good run here on Cale Cannon. They make contact, and Parker Bump spins. Everybody takes evasive action, and no one makes any further contact, and the caution will come right back out with 4 laps complete, 16 to go. Parker Bump gets it refired. And he will tag back in at the tail end of the field. Looking like we're going to come to the 1 to go signal right here. Colin Hutchinson going to lead us back to green with 16 laps to go. Nolan Bartley 2nd, Danny Hayes 3rd. 4th will be Cale Cannon, 5th will be Caleb Sutherland. That's the top 5 as they come back to green. Colin Hutchinson going to bring the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micros to the top side of the racetrack. Back at the restart cone, we are back green. They head off into turn number 1. Everybody mostly single file on the high side. Couple drivers trying that lower groove out there in the mid-pack. But no one really gained or lost anything off that initial jump. Same kind of idea through turns 3 and 4. Everybody holds position for the first lap back under green. But as laps wind down, certainly things are going to change. It's Colin Hutchinson still on the point. Danny Hayes trying to slide up in front of Nolan Bartley. Bartley holds on for now. Dustin Galbraith spins off turn number 4. And the caution will come back out with 6 laps complete, 14 to go. 5 laps complete, 15 to go. Galbraith gets it refired and will tag back into the tail end of the field. Was running 10th at the time of caution. Colin Hutchinson going to lead us back to green on yet another restart. Nolan Bartley 2nd, Danny Hayes 3rd, Cole Cannon 4th, Caleb Sutherland 5th, Carter Whaley 6th, Jimmy Wood 7th, Cameron Romack 8th, Bruce Newland 9th, and Seth Buell will round out the top 10. One to green this time as they come back to the flag stand for the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro feature. Caution lights turn off once again around the racetrack. 5 laps complete, still 15 to go for the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro feature. Colton Hutchinson goes to the bottom this time on this restart. Green flag back in the air. That's going to stack the field up behind him. Maybe that's kind of what he wanted to do. Nobody gets a good enough jump there to really take anybody's position away. Hutchinson's keeping it right down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Noah Bartley stays up high. Danny Hayes stays on the bottom. Cale Cannon up top through turns 3 and 4. And the top 4 hold positions for now. Good battle there for second between Caleb Sutherland and Carter Whaley, as Whaley has slowly made his way forward. But now he's got Jimmy Wood on his inside. As Colin Hutchinson still on the point. They come off turn 2 into 3. Colin Hutchinson trying to extend that lead on second place. Nolan Bartley, who's going for a late apex style in turns 3 and 4. Kind of doing the same thing in turns 1 and 2. He's keeping it up a little bit higher, though, on exit. 3 wide in the back of the pack, but up front, that battle is not going away for third. Still, Cale Cannon now up to third on Danny Hayes. Caleb Sutherland trying to find his way around Danny Hayes now. As the top 7 remain single file as they head back into turns 3 and 4. Halfway for Colin Hutchinson. He's completed 10 laps. He's got 10 more times to go around. Hutchinson not pulling away from Nolan Bartley, it looks like, on this lap. The gap last time was 8/10. The gap this time 6/10, as Nolan Bartley definitely closing in his number 7F. A little bit of contact there up front. Danny Hayes getting the worst of it, but no caution. Caleb Sutherland made some contact with him, but we stay green. Sutherland up into 4th. And that also puts Whaley inside the top 5. As that battle for second between Nolan Bartley and Cale Cannon all over the racetrack for that second position. We'll come to 6 laps to go this time for Colin Hutchinson. Still pulling away from Nolan Bartley. A little bit of contact there for second as they went through turns 3 and 4. Cale Cannon letting Nolan Bartley know he's there, wanting to take that second spot away. In the event that there's a late caution, Cale Cannon could take a shot at this win. 5 to go for Colin Hutchinson as he heads through turns 1 and 2. Now it's going to be a bad turns 1 and 2 for Cale Cannon down there on the bottom of the racetrack as Casper to the infield. Cannon slides up in front of Sutherland. Sutherland trying to take that third spot away going into turn 1. He does throw the slider. Cannon fires the crossover move, and Cannon will hold on to that spot for now. Sutherland trying to throw the slider again. Wasn't clear, but he did have to lift, and will concede the position back to Cale Cannon, who's running third. Caleb Sutherland 4th. 5th, Carter Whaley wanted to take that 4th spot away from Sutherland, and he will do it with a slider, but doesn't stick. 2 laps to go for race leader Colin Hutchinson into lap traffic. White flag for Colin Hutchinson's number 83H down into turn 1 for the final time. It's a 1.8 second advantage as he rolls into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Colin Hutchinson is going to win the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro feature. Great battle all around for the Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro feature. Colin Hutchinson, the winner. Second place will go to Noah Bartley. 3rd, Cale Cannon. 4th, Caleb Sutherland. 5th, Carter Whaley. 6th, Danny Hayes. 7th, Bruce Newland Jr. 8th, Jimmy Wood. 9th, Parker Bump. 10th, Cameron Romack. 11th was Seth Buell. Dustin Galbraith, 12th. Nate Casper, the only car out of the race at the end of his 14th lap completed. So Colin Hutchinson into Coles County Speedway victory lane. His first win in the non-wing micro, but does have a win in the Outlaw wing car. Kevin, down to you.
All right, thank you, Casey. We'll let him get his helmet off here. All right, now I can hear you. Let's give a big round of applause to Colin Hutchinson from Butler, Pennsylvania, your Cleveland Grain Systems non-wing micro feature winner here at Coles County Speedway. Hello, Colin.
Yeah, it was very good. Just had a very good, different track than I've normally had here, and it was really cool. Changed around to 3 and 4 about every lap, and just had to drive it so differently than normally.
Yeah, it was pretty close racing there. First few laps, that last caution, you were just able to get away.
Yeah, I just didn't know how big of a lead that I had, and I just had to be super consistent and not try a lot of stuff. But I did do that and ended up in victory lane.
Excellent. That's the place to be, right?
Correct.
All right. You got anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, I can thank Sam and Curtis enough this week. My dad, Mom, Uncle Brian, Royal Chassis, Classic Inc., Open Joy, C2 Apparel, and everybody that helps out on this machine. It just goes wicked fast every week.
All right. Well, congratulations one more time, Cullen. All right, folks, let them hear it one more time. Cullen Hutchinson, your Cleveland Grain Systems on-wing micro feature winner here at Coles County Speedway.
Well, race fans, that will conclude tonight's racing events here at Coles County Speedway. Another phenomenal night of racing being put on by all these micro drivers and the Mod Light drivers who showed up tonight. We want to thank everybody for making it out to the racetrack, and also thank you to all the viewers at home. We hope to see you again next week here at Coles County Speedway.